I am an Edwardian motor car. No, not all of us old cars are female, in spite of what our owners like to think. It is 7:30 on the morning of Sunday, the 4th of June, 1967, and I, along with many other Edwardian, veteran, and vintage cars, have been aroused from my resting place to take part in a run from Manchester to Blackpool. Our owners wish to prove to themselves and to the world at large that we can still manage the trip. Manage? Of course we can. We're all very enthusiastic about it.
Yes, this was a day indeed for enthusiasts. The 5th Manchester to Blackpool Veteran Vintage Car Run, sponsored by the Daily Telegraph and organised by the Lancashire Automobile Club. Because the month was flaming June, the weather naturally was dull, and just to spoil all the shining coachwork, it started to rain. A few drops at first, building up into a heavy drizzle which soaked cars and owners alike. But veteran and vintage car owners are resilient people, and most were more concerned with where they were spending the next few hours rather than eternity. Entries for the run totaled nearly 200 cars, their ages spanning over 30 years, anything between 1897 and 1930. All shapes, all designs, colours and sizes, and all set to leave at half-minute intervals from 9 o'clock onwards for a very welcome day out. The oldest car in the rally carried the number 1, an 1897 Daimler Tonneau, now ready in Albert Square to be the first car away at the drop of a flag by the Mayor of Manchester. In spite of the heavy rain, a large crowd had braved this early Sunday morning. Now, at last, it is 9 o'clock.
The Mayor will now start the race by lowering the flag. You ready? Go!
And away go the first two. The 1897 Daimler with the gay umbrella, followed by a Dion Bouton Quad 4 car of 1899. Next, an 1899 Star Vis-a-Vis. Here's a Panhard Tonneau of 1903. Ah, at last a car with some protection. By 1904, Renault had got wise to the weather. Other drivers, however, were not so lucky. In ones and twos, the cars got underway from Albert Square, in spite of an occasional nasty cough.
So would you cough in this weather?
It was in Manchester in 1902 that the Lancashire Automobile Club was formed. That's why Manchester was the natural choice for the start of this annual run. Each competitor had about 3 hours driving ahead to reach the finish at Blackpool. There were two main routes. The veteran and Edwardian cars, dating up to 1917, had a run of about 50 miles and were expected to average between 15 and 18 miles per hour. The vintage cars, made between 1917 and 1930, had to cover the same route plus an extra 20 miles or so, all at an average speed of 25 miles per hour. So let's join the rally. Here's one of the last cars in the Edwardian section coming out of Manchester, a 1913 Ford Speedway, living name too by its pace. This is a Dion, also 1913, owned originally by Sir David Solomon, who organised the first ever motor show at Tunbridge Wells in 1895.